with us, Chief Global Strategist at Freedom Capital Markets. Thank you for being here.
Always good to be here.
You know, we have so much going on. I mean, we have a lot of news that's happening. Before I get to the actual earnings, quick market thought.
Quick market thought, this is good, healthy rotation. Those leaders that had taken us much higher are calming down, especially the big one in NVIDIA. And what we're seeing is the Russell catch up, the Dow having a good day. So what it is rotating out of some of the winners as people adjust their portfolio as we come to that halftime part of the year. And they're rebalancing. They're selling some of their winners and putting money where there could be opportunity.
Yeah, to your point, last week consumer discretionary rose 2.5%. Energy rose almost 2%. Financials saw an increase. So that was the winning week, right? There was S&P was up for the third week in a row, but it was led by some of these other sectors. You and I were just saying Walmart new high, TJX new high. So fun to see those. NVIDIA pulling back. Quick thought on Apple. We have a lot of Apple news. You have the EU regulators looking at them and the apps, and maybe they're not really steering people to other alternatives, coupled with Meta maybe teaming up with Apple and AI. Any thoughts on Apple today?
Well, the Meta and the AI story is definitely taking precedence as the stock is higher right now. That Apple headline, it didn't read well, but you know, when you're dealing with regulators, Apple's comment on the situation was, we've been handling this, we've been in front of this, and this is something that's going to take time to actually have any impact, and when it does, they'll probably negotiate it down to a manageable fine at most. So I don't think the headline is really affecting or is going to have the impact that it looked like it was going to. And when you add in an AI story in a relationship with Meta, I think the headline is there, and investors like that a lot more.
Yeah, that was hitting hard early this morning, that headline. Let's get to earnings season. I mean, are people too optimistic on future earnings? We're getting, obviously, this week we have some key names to watch, which we'll go over, but earnings overall.
I don't think there's a overall optimism unless it's in that AI tech space. And what we get to see this week is a broad array of stocks that report. Carnival Cruise Lines today.
Yes.
Are we still traveling? Is the consumer still spending that money on their leisure time? That'll be interesting. FedEx, tomorrow after the close. The transports have been one of the weakest sectors. Although price action in FedEx, stock just broke a downtrend, trading above its 200-day moving average. Is price action telling us that this is going to be a solid quarter? It seems like it is. So it's going to be interesting to see how FedEx comes out. Then Micron in the semiconductor space. There's a stock that had a great run, gave some back, held a key support level. We'll see how they report. And then on Friday, Nike. Talk about an iconic brand, a global brand. They've had a nice little run, slow and steady, but they have a long way to make back for what they've suffered over the last 2 years. Is this going to be the turning point? So you have a broad array of stocks reporting that could really give you an idea of how the overall economy is doing, not just the mega cap growth names that we've been focused on.
Yeah, and we'll have Tesla deliveries as well, so a lot to watch this week, no doubt. When we think about Friday, of course, was Triple Witch.
Yeah.
It's always really exciting, and everybody's fully staffed, getting ready for those closing bells where we see extremely heavy volume. What do you want people to know about Triple Witch?
Well, Triple Witch, that was last Friday, and we had some Spider Select ETF rebalancing.
Yeah.
The people down here have it under control. It is big numbers, but we prepare for this weeks in advance, knowing that there's going to be rebalance. This Friday is the bigger close. Believe it or not, this Friday could be the busiest day of the year. You have the Russell reconstitution coinciding with the last day of the month, the last day of the quarter, and it's the last day of the first half of the year. So expect volumes to really explode on that close as people are rebalancing. Not only in the indexes are rebalancing with the Russell reconstitution, but portfolio managers trying to close out that first half, and then it'll be crickets next week with the 4th of July holiday. And then let's not forget PCE on Friday as well, the Fed's preferred inflationary number. A lot of fireworks for Friday.
I know. I'm looking forward to PCE because, people want to know what the Fed's going to do.
Yeah.
Any thoughts there, or big picture on that?
Oh, tons of thoughts. I mean, they're expecting it to decrease again. It has been slowly and very slowly declining, but it's going towards that preferred rate of 2%. It's going to be from 2.75 to 2.6 if the economists got this right. And if they do, that is, to me, the green light for the Fed to say, you know what, we'll discuss it in July at our meeting, and September, the measures are there for us to have that quarter-point rate cut. I apologize, big difference, rate cut in September, and that's what the market is looking for. I know that with the dot plot at the last Fed meeting, they got a little hawkish and maybe one cut, but I think you get a PCE number in line or cooler than expected, then you could see that cut in September, and that would be very good for the market. And watch the small caps; they're rallying now, and I think that could really lead to an explosive move to the upside in the small caps.
Just getting back to earnings, I mean, earnings season's pretty much done now.
Yeah.
I think as of last week, we were saying 99% of the S&P
yes.
had reported. What was the takeaway from earnings
The
season?
takeaway was, AI was the takeaway. If you had an AI, over 200 companies in the S&P 500 said something about their AI story. That was a record. But outside of that, we continued growth. It's not as doom and gloom as people anticipated. The word inflation, according to FactSet, was not used nearly as much as it had been over the previous 2, 3, 4 quarters. So the companies are starting to see slow growth. Now, can it continue? That is the thing that we're hoping for. And earnings season, believe it or not, it's over, but it kicks off on July 12th with JP Morgan, the financials. I'll come back and we'll talk about that next time. But
can't wait, right?
There's always something to look forward to. I think we get through this Friday, and next week, I hope you have the week off. It's going to be really slow around here with the big holiday.
No, I don't, and I'm going to make sure that we have the best program, we have best shows, and it's going to be really good.
You always do that. That's
Whether
never
people
a
are
question.
in or out, they'll enjoy our programming. Jay Woods, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Jay Woods of Freedom Capital.